Greetings, fellow warriors of the village. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Night is Coming. Episode 6, Ridding the Land of Monstrous Evil. I was kind of contemplating getting another carpentry workshop, because it seems to be a bottleneck. But I might not. We'll see. I'm also gonna offer rest to everyone, because it's been a while since they've had the opportunity to rest. Alright, army size. You got it. Oh, and doctrines. There didn't seem to be too many enemies, like, directly adjacent to the city. So I'm gonna go for the other portal. Oh god, you are getting murdered bad. That was a lot of burst damage. Most of the monsters out here will just despawn at night, or during the day, so I don't really need to actively clear them. They drop shards, but like, they're not very shard efficient compared to clearing, the Force Vengeance spawners. So I don't really enjoy, like, getting one point at a time. It's a lot of micromanagement. So I'll just clear out the ones that are closest to the village that might actually pose a threat to villagers. But apart from that, I don't really care. I think I will pull the trigger on a second carpenter, even though it isn't, I don't think I can get it workshop linked, because the workshop's too far away. It will still be a net benefit. And if I want orichalcum, let's prioritize clearing the orichalcum, defenders first. So you can see the lightning storm. Pretty awesome. Raining hell on these enemies. And there we go. We have enough points for another battle tech. So you guys wanted army size, so I'm going to wait until I hit tier 4 and get both army size and elite armor. And all this combat experience should be leveling up my knight. Because the knight's bonus is really nice to get to. It's a roundhouse kick, which does AoE damage and knocks them off their feet. So it's like an AoE damage stun. The game looks like it's chugging. I actually just restarted recently. It's fine now. Alright, there is probably a night hag down there. And then a night hag up here. Okay. Night hags don't give dark shards like other enemies do, but because they abduct your villagers, I always find killing them is pretty important. Because having to lose your villagers to hags is super annoying. Yeah, that's definitely a night hag. We might actually be strong enough now not to need to pray for a night hag, just leaving it up to the sorcerer and the healer to deal the damage, but I'd rather not take the chance of them getting harmed. Nice, the Stonemason is almost built, as is the second cart. So at this point I have greater than 100 forest vengeance, but there is no forest camp that can spawn enemies for me, because I've cleared all the camps. So tomorrow will be a rough day, because my forest vengeance will go up and trigger a revenge. Oh yeah, we didn't need to pray. That was easy. My super sorcerer just, like, nuked it to death. So tomorrow will be a little rough because Forest Vengeance is, like, maxed out. And if I'm not proactive about clearing out the hostile camps, you know, we might get a wave attack. But I'm not too worried. So the Stonemason, having been built, allows you to make stone plates. Another really useful thing, because if you don't need stone plates or bricks, you can have it make construction materials, which you can use for, like, stockades and the like. And that uses stone instead of wood. I can queue some of those up, as it's pretty cheap to get stone. I say that as I, like, can't find any. Here's some stone. How do we not have orichalcum yet? Alright, I have enough spirit points. And I'm going to go for reforestation, because I'm working my way to inner fire. Inner fire makes your people, like, more fulfilled, fed, happier. It's basically, like, villager needs spell. Which can be really, really helpful. Nightfall! And immediately there are ghosts spawned right up in the middle of our village. So I expelled them, and now we're going to actively hunt them. So even my healer can spellcast? Whoa, hello, Stash! How's it going, man? What were you playing today? Oh, nice. What were you doing in V-Rising? At what point are you? Oh, hey, how's your servant army? I just wrapped up my V-Rising run. I really liked Oakvale. I thought for a free update, it added a hell of a lot. I was impressed. And a lot of quality of life improvements as well. I thought it was terrific. You're in Gloomrod at the moment? Cool. I like the atmosphere of Gloomrod's very dark, very swampy, very gloomy, but pretty cool all the same. Alright, I think all the immediate threat of ghosts and revenants to our villagers have been resolved. So now it's just a matter of waiting until daybreak. Oh, I had an awesome run while I was hanging there? I don't know. I'm not good at this sort of ARPG bullet hell style games. I play them, but I'm certainly no master. Yeah, the shared inventory, the treasury mechanic is fantastic for V-Rising. Being able to craft from things in storage is incredible, and I hope a lot of other games, like, take note that having to run around to each box and, like, pick up the resources sucks. There's, like, it's not fun. It will never be fun. And games should... I don't think they should offer that for free, necessarily. So I like how V-Rising forces you to unlock the tech and then build the buildings and enclose them, and it's not a freebie. But, it is a feature that I really like of other games. Like, I've recently played Return to Moria. Return to Moria has a similar mechanic where everything within your home you have access to from the chest. So if you want to build things, all you need to do is to have wood or stone in a chest near, within your home, and you can use that material to build. It makes it so much more convenient than having to fetch things in your inventory all the time, which is, honestly just awful. Oh, there's a revenge layer up still. I didn't notice. Oh, and there's definitely a bandit camp down here, too. You like how it works in Sengoku Dynasty? Yeah. Well, my greater point is, like, the games that don't have it, you feel it hard. Because it's obnoxious. Having to go fetch everything. So definitely have it included. Am I enjoying this game so far? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I think there's issues with it. There's performance issues with it. There's scaling issues with it. And the game doesn't offer a ton of flexibility in the way you play. Because of essentially the difficulty level being as high as it is. With that said, it is fun if you can deal with some of the performance problems that it has. The game starts to chunk after a while, so it's important to, like, load and save frequently, which is, like, not great. I feel like they should probably resolve some of those performance issues, but I was a big fan of Majesty, which is a game that released 25 years ago, and this reminds me a lot of Majesty, in a way. There's been a lot of, like, other games like Majesty. I think Majesty was one of the first of its genre, where it's like a village builder that has, like, heroes that you have to hire out to help protect your village. And Majesty was a little bit different, where you don't directly control the villagers, you, like, put out bounties, and the heroes... Or you don't directly control the heroes, sorry. You put out bounties, and then the heroes, like, do what you want them to do based upon the bounties, and you have to keep them happy and everything. It was a very novel concept back then. There might have been games that predated that, but that's at least the first one that came to mind. But I really liked Majesty. So this game reminds me a bit of that genre, and as a result, there is definitely some nostalgia involved. Maybe this game isn't as good as I think it is. It's just I'm nostalgic for that style of game. But either way, I like it. I just wish it ran a bit better. But I'm on a recent kick of a bunch of games that don't run awesome. Like, V-Rising is basically bug-free. You almost never run into bugs. But, last week I was playing Synergy, which has a similar issue where, it's like a memory leak. The longer you play, the slower it gets. Thankfully, both this and Synergy is really easy to reboot. The save and loads are quick. Yeah, Majesty 2 was a bit of a disappointment. That's why I didn't mention it. I liked Majesty. I did not really like Majesty 2. Not so much. And I've played a bunch of other games similar to Majesty over the years, but, like, none of them really hit home quite the way that Majesty did. Mostly because I think Majesty was really well balanced. Which is why it felt awesome. Can someone finish this carpentry workshop? Like, for real. Someone should build it. There we go. Alright, so now that we have the carpenter workshop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 4 components from here and put it in the other workshop. Dividing the labor so that I can actually make some progress. Hey, Laura, thank you for the resub. Because as soon as we get the components and the cogwheels, I'll be able to upgrade our village, and then we'll get huge bonuses as a result. Because I'll have inner fire and elite armor and a larger army size. So we're close. But tonight is Blood Moon night. Ooh, and there's going to be a swarm. 21 enemies, 12 are hard, and 2 are elite. We won't have any issue, because we have, like, an OP army now, but still, this is not something you should sleep on. Like, you can see my swordsman is definitely getting hurt. If it wasn't for the healer's dedication, he would have been chewed up a bit. Does the inner fire work now? Ooh, good question. If and when I unlock it, I'll make sure to take a quick look about energy recharging. Okay, there's another wave coming. This one's even more elite than the last one. Gotta love the sorcerer's AoE. Just get zapped. On top of that, I have enough points for yet another battle tech. So I'm already getting army size. I'm already getting... so what's queued up is elite armor and army size once I get there. So you guys can decide for even more army size if you want. Or towers or spells. I'll leave it up to you. If we do another army size, I might want to consider upgrading my swordsman to a knight, so he tanks better, but that will be up to you. Because he is, as you can see, I have to pull him from combat right now, because otherwise he would have died. Because it's, he's dangerous. Right, so, like, we passed that wave with flying colors, but, like, not without me having to micro a little bit because of the amount of damage that they were doing. Ooh, yeah. So I have also the technology point for inner fire once we get there. So that should be attainable today. And let's start clearing out this spawners. So one of the night hags is gone. Alright, looks like you guys want towers. I'll call that a little early. So we'll start off with regular defensive towers. But in my opinion, they're best set up to get magic towers that can be used against ghosts. Because ghosts are really annoying, obviously. So having anti-ghost towers is pretty dope once you get that unlocked. The enemies are like... Oh, here they come. I was going to say they're not even attacking me. Oh, there we go! Our champion is now veteran. So he's doing roundhouse kicks to the face. Do I have anyone going for Orichalcum? You know what? Never mind. I have 29 Orichalcum. I didn't realize. In that case, we are now making the metal cogwheels. And once we have the metal cogwheels done, we could also consider getting the Orichalcum ore tools. And for that, we need a little bit more coal. So I'll stockpile a little coal. Oh, this is... No, don't stockpile there. Apparently there's an enemy spawner near here. Yeah, there's a night hag. Right there. A quest! Destroy Wolf Den. Oh, sure. That's a lot of shards. Don't mind if I do. So there's another night hag here. Oh no, that's a dark portal, never mind. Oh, there's the wolf den. So we haven't seen red wolves yet. But, they're like high crit. And it's also, there's a Leshy nearby from another spawner. So there's a bit of, there's a bit of a stack of enemies there. And it's like bordering our town. I should have hit that first. I failed to notice it. The Spirit Altar is almost done with its cogwheels. I'm gonna queue up 2 cogwheels on the other carpenter as well, so that we have cogwheels coming in from multiple sources. Because I don't mind having a stockpile of it. Yeah, in this game, Blood Moon is bad, unlike in Blue Rising, exactly. Blood Moon helps the enemies here. Oh, no you don't. Alright, so one more wolf. And then the den. This wolf is being lazy and not actually attacking me. Yo, where are you going? Oh my god, don't do that. Villager. So there's a bunch of coal that we mined up, and he was like coming into the middle of this fight to go like, oh, I want that coal. Dude, brains, use them. Well, the good news is I have enough dark shards for something else. So I think, as I mentioned, the regular towers on their own kind of suck, but the upgraded towers that can attack ghosts are good. So we'll be pushing for that tech. Oh, you know what? Is both of these layers avenging? Oh, perfect. So I can reduce my forced aggro to basically 0 once I'm done with this. Yeah, and I saw that slud's face. He brought the sled up, grabbed one, and then walked away. It's like, dude, you jerk. Obviously a paid by the hour, not by the job employee. Okay, we have 0 forced vengeance. With that said, I'm still going to clear out this camp anyway. And I think we're very close to having tier 4 stuff unlocked. I like how they're still complaining about the forced labor. It's like, yeah, I don't care. So here's the metal cogwheel for the Crystal of Knowledge upgrade for the Sage's Workshop. And then we only need one more cogwheel for the Spirit Altar. Sage's Workshop is upgraded. Awesome. Let's take a look at the research. Here's Inner Fire. And here is Elite Armor. And army size. With the extra army size, I now have an army of up to 15. So we could retrain our swordsman into a knight for a lot more damage and defense. It would remove his veterancy. So what troops to train? Retrain to knight. Train a sork. So, alternatively, I could train a new sorcerer. That would take all 3. I could also train an enchanter, which is a deep defense buffer. Train an enchant and swordsman. So if I do an enchanter, that only costs 2, so I could also do a swordsman. Or I could train a archer and swords. So, one of those 4 options, I would say, makes the most sense. I know I've ignored crossbowman and engineer, we just didn't bother unlocking it. Is this a night hag? Or a portal? It's a portal. Actually, go back to the portal. Let's close it. Oh, nice. Nothing spawned on top of me at town. So I'll go for the other portal. That's what I was worried about, is like not being home when night falls and getting ganked by stuff at home. So it looks like you guys want an enchant and swords. Got it. So barracks. The enchanter we're going to take is... So swordsman should probably be the tough guy. And then the enchanter should be someone... Maybe Trinava. There we go. And that also means that I'm going to have more space for other villagers, because we've just freed up some houses. So as I pass by this person in need, we can be like, hey, here's some berries. And you... Oops, wrong tab. Are sensitive to cold. Oh, great. Well, you know, can't win them all, I guess. But, work priorities, you're going to be a stonecutter, and that's... Yeah. We'll also put you on cooking. Here's the other dark portal. Cleared. Oh, you know what I didn't realize is, like, I could have included healer in the potential troop list and didn't. Oh well. Now we have an enchanter and another swordsman, and this swordsman is pretty tanky. Yeah, defensive towers. Okay, back to what I was going to do is the... So the elite armor, if we take a look at, like, our knight or whatever, they now have, and let me remove my head, they now have a much higher defense, total defense, than before. So they were up to 65, which is really good, and 60 for the swordsman. You know, so that individually, if you take a look at their gear, they have elite heavy armor. As a result, the casters, however, have a different gear, different armor tree. I haven't bothered to do that because I'm pretty careful about not having the casters tank, but that would be comfortable mantles and perfect mantles. So they have a separate armor defense tier than the warriors. I just generally don't worry about it so much because they shouldn't be tanking anyway. If they are tanking, you're kind of failing them. So I try to be careful about that. No, come on, don't attack my farm. Jerk. Well, my guys haven't had a day of rest in a while, so let's give them a rest mode. Trying to get rid of this forced labor. Because we've already gotten the Sage Workshop, we've already gotten the Spirit Altar, so we don't have like an immediate urgency for any upgrades or anything. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to eventually start rolling out mansions to our citizenry. And then potentially incorporating defenses. So I think today, instead of mansions, I'm going to do defenses. I am going to give them a little bit of rest, cut down a whole lot of trees, and then show you some of the defenses that you can build. You only directly control the heroes. The villagers, you can issue orders indirectly through task priorities and through work priorities. But you can't actually physically select them to tell them what to do. So, like, the very opposite of Majesty in a way. Because Majesty was the opposite, where you could control, like, the citizens, but not the heroes. And it's fun to see the bonuses start to stack with all the spells. So our army's getting even stronger with an enchanter now. Oh boy, that whole base went poof instantly. And we almost have enough points for another another combat upgrade. Alright, that's enough rest. They're literally standing around. That's because, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. I don't have a fair yet. So I'm going to go build a top-tier fair, which is where they go to, like, chill and rest, which is 4 components, 2 metal cogs. And now they'll... And this is the best possible tier. I'm skipping the lower tiers. So this will allow them to you know, get the most bang for their buck out of rest, which will be really good for morale. But they're already in a great mood. Let's go ahead and stack that great mood with Mastery. And Inner Fire. I don't know how to check for Inner Fire. It actually, I'm not really sure Inner Fire works because their energy doesn't look higher. But it just boosted the hell out of my citizens so they can get more work done today. You can see them blitzing all over the place. In fact, new citizens too, because I did recruit to my military, so I had 2 more free slots in the houses for people. We are almost done with this fair. So the fairgrounds, to read you the full description, is a public place where all settlers gather when you enable rest mode, and it also increases the spirit accumulation. So if you have a fairground, you can tell your villagers to rest to get a lot more spirit. But my spirit generator per day is already 576, so the nicer you treat your people, the more spirit you're going to get per day, which is one of the main reasons why you focus on morale. What I was hoping to do within this stream was to fight the final boss of the of this map tile, but I don't think I'm going to end up having time, unfortunately. Because we're only at our... We have 3 more Blood Moons left. But I will say, I'm probably roughly strong enough to win the fight with my army at its current strength. More, you know, it might require a little bit of micromanagement, but I have hit roughly that tier. So I think what would benefit me the most at this point is to try to obtain the Adamantite that I found, because the combat bonuses awarded by that Adamantite are incredible. Where is it? I'll find it in a moment. I'm gonna focus on the fight I got going on right now. So now we'll have magic towers that can attack ghosts. My 2 cents, I really wouldn't even consider getting towers until you can get magic towers that can attack ghosts, because the bonus for anything short of magic towers that can attack ghosts is just not... There's not a lot of bang for your buck there. So it's these ghost attacking towers that really make it worth it. And putting them around your village, and I know this is a lot of them, but putting them around your village to keep your villagers safe from ghosts, so ghost attacks can't drain their stamina, is pretty important. They don't need to perfectly overlap. A reasonable amount of coverage should be enough. But, like, that's a lot of towers. And these towers individually cost the metal parts. So this is a lot of iron needed. Plus a lot of build materials. So I'll set up more construction materials, and then I'll queue up like 12 metal parts, and I'm sure I'm going to need more than that. Alright, Adamantite. Yeah, there it is. The one thing I haven't really done is focus on population growth. Obviously, having more villagers, the Forest Vengeance doesn't really scale to your population, like some games do, where the more people you have, the harder it gets. In this case, that's not the case, meaning that if I was a little bit more diligent about building homes, I could grow my population to get more work done in a given day. Oof. I should not have taken that task. I am in no position to produce fur clothing. But this is a preparing for the winter task, where it wants me to build quilted clothing with flax, fur clothing with hunted leather, store firewood in 3 hearths. So let me talk about that real quick. In some buildings, like let's say the tavern, you can store firewood when you have a lot of firewood in stock, so it requires you to have at least 40 firewood stocked. And what that allows you to do is anyone who spends time in the tavern will automatically have their body heat needs be met. So it's a really good thing to do in preparation for winter, so that the cold of the winter doesn't, you know, kill you. I'll play a little bit past the end time just to demo some of the winter prep, because that's one of the features I really haven't highlighted. So the other thing it wanted me to do is to build some campfires. So I have one campfire around these homes. I'm going to put another campfire around the fairground, and then a third campfire down here near the workshop, because it wanted 3 firewood and 3 hearths. So... and 3 campfires. The Adamantite I got. So here's the reliable weapon tier, which requires orichalcum, Adamantite, and coal. And that's going to raise the DPS of our warriors even more. But I would need Adamantite ore and coal for that. And I just haven't accumulated it yet. My villagers are definitely overtaxed in terms of work order. Oh, Jesus. I'm glad I checked over here. My sorcerer was just like getting bat murdered. Troops are dumb and need a lot of hand-holding at times. He was just standing there letting the bats, like, rip him apart. You know, cause he was like, oh, why not? They seem chill. They were not chill, dude. They were not chill. And the prepping for the winter is mostly about stockpiling firewood and food. Warm clothing will also help too. Signal fire allows you to signal in more wanderers to join. And then if we wanted to do the quilted clothing and the fur clothing, we would need to get a hunter's hut to be able to butcher animals for leather and a tailor's workshop to be able to actually make the things. It's one of those buildings I hadn't actually made yet. But the tailor's workshop allows you to start manufacturing clothing. So I'll drop one here. And it requires bricks from the stonemason. It requires corners from the carpenter. What was it? 4 corners? And then ornate metal from the forge. Ornate plates. Which is adamantine tier. So it's not a cheap tech that you'll be able to, like, rush to early on. But it does give you a lot of, defense for the weather. That was funny that, that spirit got knocked back due to the charm right into my giant army that was just like, oh, hi! But, yeah, here's a defensive tower, for instance, which has finite ammo until you get the infinite ammo. But this defensive tower, because it's tier 2, as you can see in the stars, will be able to attack ghosts. So we are starting to get anti-ghost towers. Just the very start of it, but still. Well, here I think, having shown you some of the winter prep, is where I'm going to leave off. Despite having not finished the last Blood Moon. But before I go any further, what I will say is this is just one of the, I think, 4 maps that exist. So every time you clear a previous map, and I had played this in when it was an alpha, I just didn't stream it because there was only 4 hours. You could only play 4 hours in the demo. But there is the Swamp, Greenwood, and Dead Forest maps, and I was playing Pinewood. But that's where I'm going to leave off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Night is Coming, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode on our upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow villagers.